A few people have been asking me about the various Wacom devices that I use, and I thought that it might be good to do a short video that shows you what's involved with them, because I've also acquired a new one today, so it's interesting to sort of compare and contrast them. I've got three here, the one that's boxed and new, and then I've got another two that I've been using in many of the sketches and drawings that you may have seen on LinkedIn or Instagram. The first one is the Bamboo Slate, which is a battery-powered digitising tablet, which accommodates a pad of paper, which in this case is A5, and you draw on it using a Wacom ballpoint pen, and that is an active pen. And you basically draw on the paper, and that can then be downloaded onto their own app, which is called Inkspace, and you could then export that to many other platforms in a variety of formats, including SVG, PNG, JPEG, and also MP4, as well as a host of others. And that allows you to really sort of use drawings in a variety of different ways. This particular one that I did was done basically so that I could actually try it out. And it's just a drawing of the work environment that I'm currently working in. And I did that as a little animation, just as a little GIF, to actually test out how it is used. So as you're drawing, you can actually basically download that live into the Inkspace app, and you can actually watch it emerging on the computer screen, on a tablet, or indeed on your smartphone, because it all works via Bluetooth. Clearly, the beauty of this particular device is that you could actually take that out with you, and it's relatively compact. It's just a little bit bigger than an A5 sheet of paper, and it is actually relatively stiff. So from the point of view doing drawing, there's actually a real base in which to hold the surface and then actually draw on the paper. So all in all, quite good. The next one that I've got is a bit bigger, and it's the Bamboo Folio. Now, the good thing about this is that it is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a folio, and that therefore means that it's the same idea, digitising tablet, this time A4. And again, you may have seen some of the drawings that you could see in the paper here that I've shared over the weeks and months on LinkedIn and Instagram and so on. And really the technology is exactly the same as the Bamboo Slate. The big thing here is obviously that it's A4, so it's a bigger surface, and I think the good thing as well is that it does have a cover. So from the point of view of travelling to meetings where I may want to draw once we get to travel again, this is actually ideal because I could put it into my briefcase and the surface is protected, but the actual device is protected as well. So all in all, these things are great. I've been using them a lot, particularly to get line work into digital drawings. I use Autodesk Sketchbook Pro a lot, and I also use my Huion Canvas Pro graphic display tablet, and it allows me to get line work in very, very cleanly, which then allows me to render that line work very, very easily. The one thing about it is that obviously this is a ballpoint pen. Now, I really enjoy using ballpoint, but there are other pens, and ballpoints, the reason why I like ballpoint is that it is actually quite bold and direct, but there are times when I actually want to draw with much greater delicacy and so on. So the thing that I found is that Wacom also do a SketchPad Pro, Now this is basically another product, it's a parallel product, and it is very much like the bamboo slate, but it can use the ballpoint pen, but it could also use a gel fineliner pen, which allows you to create much finer line work, both in analogue but also in digital form as well. So let's unbox it and see what we've got inside. I think the great thing about Wacom is always just the boxes and the designs on them make you want to open them up. So here we are, we open that up, slides off, and we've got the tablet in a wrapper, and we just lift that out. And the immediate thing is that you could see that it is actually quite different, similar but different to the Slate. Obviously this one is A4, but the big difference is really partly the colour. The overall layout, the technology is the same, but this is a plastic surface, whereas the SketchPad Pro is actually leather. So it's quite a distinctive thing, and quite an attractive looking device. Both of them obviously have rechargeable batteries, and you could actually take both out and about. Clearly this is going to allow me to work with finer lines and actually get finer line work via the various platforms that I could use it with. So the next thing that we have is an A4 pad, and again this is different from the paper and the pads that are available for the Slate, and that's obviously picked out in the form of the artwork on the front. And really the big thing is that it is much more aimed at artists, whereas I think the Slate is more aimed at creating ideas, workflow. So it is a more direct device, albeit I do use it for a lot of sketching. So I think this is maybe more, from my perspective, aimed at presentation drawings or maybe more delicate artworks that I create. Within this, you get the sort of standard ubiquitous USB charging cable. You get brief instructions, the normal warranties and so on. 3 replacement gel fine tip barrels. These are actually really important because they are actually coated in a special material, and that actually helps the device work from the perspective of pressure sensitivity. There is also startup instructions, and there is then the other pen. So this is very similar to the pen that I was showing you earlier, but you could see when I hold them up that this one here is the ballpoint and it's all black, and this one here is the fineliner, and it then actually has a metallic silver barrel. The pen also includes a fineliner tip within it, and you could see if we hold them up together that there is a very noticeable difference in how fine the fineliner is in comparison. So I'm basically going to get everything charged up, and I'm going to experiment with it and see how it works. Thank you very much.